And you have to make sure this leader stays in line and aligned with God's plan for his life. If he's not aligned with the plan, then it's not going to work at this point. I know God showed you this is your husband. I know you really want to be with him. I know that. Hello everybody, it's your girl Tally, and I'm back again with another video for you guys. I just came in from work. It's about 5:36 a.m. in the morning, but I had to just really quickly get this video off my chest, and then I'm off to bed. You know, I'm just regular right now. This is me, my everyday look, okay? So the video today, as you probably already see, is about when God reveals your husband. And this is very important for you, the women of faith out there, for you to know. Now, this channel, it talks about relationship standards, singleness standards, things that you should accept, things that you shouldn't accept, because after all, relationships is a passion of mine, romantic relationships. Of course, I'm going to talk about other things when I feel led to, but a lot of the times I feel strongly to talk about relationships and what should be acceptable and not acceptable. Now, for my women of faith out there like me, we believe that it's important to wait on God to confirm or reveal to you if this person is or isn't your husband. And I completely believe in that. And I look forward to the time and the moment when God reveals that to me about somebody I'm dating or somebody in my circle. All right. So I just want to say that, yes, I do believe that God does reveal that to you. All right. And we should wait and look forward to that. Absolutely. But here is a big problem that I just want to point out to women of faith out there. And here's it. Now, just because God showed you that this person is your husband does not mean rules, standards, morals, and deal breakers go out the window. I'm going to say that one more time. Just because God has revealed to you that this man is your husband, and you flip it around for the men, just because God revealed to you that this woman is your wife, does not mean that rules, standards, deal breakers, and morals go out the window. There is a tendency for people of faith in general to think that just because God has given something to you, that it's just automatically gonna work out, it's gonna be perfect. And that is a big lie that we are believing, that I believe is working against the Christian community, the people of faith, and it's just having an overall negative impact. If God revealing this person to you as your spouse would be everything you needed to maintain the relationship, we would not have the same divorce rate in church as we do out of church. And some people even dare to say it's even higher in church. So again, if God revealing your spouse to you was everything you needed to maintain the relationship, we would not have the same 50% divorce rate outside of church as we do inside of church. Okay, so let's use our common sense here, people. And I'm going to try to break this down for you as best as I can. Now, in the beginning, there was Adam and there was Eve. Adam and Eve were still in the good graces of God. They had not sinned yet against God, and they walked with God. They talked with God. They were, in fact, perfect beings. Adam and Eve were perfect beings. You hear me? Adam and Eve were perfect beings. I'm going to probably repeat a lot of things in this video because people kind of don't get it. But like I said, Adam and Eve were perfect beings. These people, when God created Eve, you know, he put Adam to sleep. Adam took a rib out of Adam's side. I got to go through the whole story. And then Adam arose, he found Eve there, and he said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, this shall become woman. And he took Eve as his wife. This was the last time in history that God revealed a husband or revealed a wife to somebody, and that is all they needed to make the relationship work. That was the last time in history. Because ever since the fall of man and women, so ever since sin came into this world that rendered us, that made us imperfect, after sin came into this world, after that happened, no longer would it be that God would reveal or present a husband or wife to somebody and automatically that relationship will work out. Why? Because simply put, it's the fallen nature of men. People, as soon as sin came into the world, people became selfish. They became self-seeking. They became full of things in their hearts, anger and jealousy and just malice and drunkenness, just every sin you could think of in the book. We became full of it until, of course, we gave our lives over to Christ. But even then, we're still fighting against our old ways. So, like I said, that was the last time that presenting a wife or a husband to somebody would be the only thing you need. Nowadays, it is not the same. Nowadays, just because God has revealed to you that this person is your spouse does not mean that you need to throw your standards, your morals for yourself out of the window. Why? Because people are people. People are still going to be people. That means people are still going to try you. People are still going to be imperfect and try to get their way. People are still going to disrespect you in some way, so you're going to have to put them in check. People are still fighting against the worldly things and things that are inside of them, their desires, their unclean desires. So look at yourself. If you're someone who has to fight and crucify your flesh every day and fight against unclean desires that you know that are not pleasing to God, how much more does another person have to? So if that's the case, that means that us as human beings, we struggle to please God. So of course we're going to struggle to please each other. Of course we're going to wrong each other. If we have wronged God, if we have fell away from God, of course we're going to wrong each other. So please, this is my point today. Please stop thinking that because God revealed a husband or a wife to you, that standards and morals go out the window. You still gotta apply it to the relationship. You still gotta be able to check that person when that person gets out of line. You still have to get to a point where you would leave that person. Do you hear me? This is the part that nobody wants to hear, because they think just because God revealed it to them that they just got to stay through anything and everything. Well, let me tell you, if you're someone who stays through anything and everything, you're enabling that person to be who they are, and that person is going to know that you're a doormat, and they'll never change for you. I have another video like that. Okay, if the last thing you ever want to do is build what I call that language of disrespect, okay, in a relationship, there is a language, because you guys know each other so well. There is a language that you guys start to speak with each other, and that's going to be the language that you end up speaking for the whole time you are together, unless there's some drastic change that takes place. So if you allow that relationship to be that language that you speak between each other to be disrespect and a whole bunch of below standards kind of things, and insecurity and talking down to you and calling you names and yelling at you and cursing at you, getting drunk, getting high, if you allow that to be a part of your language, number one, if you allow that to go on for a long time, the chances of that language ever changing goes down drastically, number one. And number two, that person, if you ever thought that there would be any kind of change in that person's behavior, if that's what you're seeking, it's not going to happen the longer you keep that up. So that's why I say in the beginning, you're going to want to have standards and morals and standards and boundaries that say that if you do this, I can't be with you. If you're a person like this, I can't be with you. If you're insecure, if you're talking down to me, if you're flirting with other women, if you think you're gonna cheat on me, if you don't take your walk with God seriously, if you're doing things that you know that God would not be pleased with about you, if you're doing anything that will take me away from God and my walk with God and God's plan for my life, if you're putting that in danger, I can't be with you. You still have to implement those rules, because the last thing you want to do is to be an enabler of somebody. Enabler is somebody who supports the behavior of somebody, whether that's good or bad. But guess what? A lot of the times in relationship, it's bad behavior. You're supporting bad behavior. And a lot of the times we don't think of it like that. We think that just because you're yelling and screaming and giving attitude to this person when they do this, that means that you're not enabling. But that's not true. If you're staying with this person keeps doing this thing over and over again, and you choose to stay with this person and you choose to be with this person, no matter what kind of attitude you give, no matter if you yell and scream and curse at that person, you still decide to stay with them, they are not going to change. Because when you don't want to be an enabler to somebody, and that habit is serious, it's a serious habit that can endanger your relationship and ultimately endanger your marriage. When it's something like that, you have to get out of there. You have to get out of there and allow God to get through to that person. And you have to allow your absence to speak volumes. Because you have to let this person know, I'm riding with you. I can submit to you when we're married, but I'm riding with you. But I'm not riding with you till the wheels fall off. I'm not ride or die. As long as you have a plan for your life, you loving and you serving the Lord, I'm going to ride with you. But anytime you choose to take a stupid pill and you get off that train, I can't ride this train no more. Okay, submission is a choice. That means as women, we choose who we want to be submissive to. So you have to choose right. So the last thing we need is women out here thinking, because I say women because women are the ones who's going to have to submit under a man. So it's important who you submit into. Okay, men are going to have to lead. So you have to pick, if this woman, you have to decide if this woman is a good helpmate to you. But for a woman, this man is going to be the one to lead you. So you have to check if this leader can lead you. You have to know if this leader is leading you down the right path. What is he leading you to? And you have to make sure this leader stays in line and aligned with God's plan for his life. If he's not aligned with the plan, then it's not going to work at this point. I know God showed you this is your husband. I know you really want to be with him. I know that. But at the same time, God shows you that he's your husband, but it's up to you. It's up to you, the person, you two people, to do what it takes to maintain the relationship. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do, but this other person is calling you names, doing insecure things, demonstrating severe insecurity, has anger issues, drunkenness, any kind of those issues, and that person is demonstrating towards you, that person is unfaithful to you, you have to get out of the way and allow God to get to that person, because obviously that person is not in a place where this person can be with you, and there's nothing you can do to change that. All right, there's nothing you can do to change the way this person has decided they wanted to act. The only thing you could do is show this person that if you're gonna act like that, I can't support you, I can't enable you, I cannot be by your side as you do this. So please Please stop thinking that standards and morals go out the window just because God revealed that this is your husband. You still have to apply this. Any relationship that you want to be successful, it needs the standards. It needs the things that the deal breakers that says, if you do this, I can't be with you. If you do this to me, I'm not going to be with you. You need to trust. You need to trust God on that. God shows you these things, but at the same time, like I said, it's up to you to maintain that relationship. If not, you're going to end up in divorce like everybody else. I believe that's a lie of the enemy. If you're out here thinking that just because God showed this to you, that's it. All right. If we know the story of the Israelites coming out of Egypt, what happened? God showed them the land flowing with milk and honey. When they got to the land, there was a fight on the way to the land, and there was a fight in the land. God said he would give them the land, but they still had to go to war for the land. God said that was your husband, but you still gotta work some issues out. There's some things you still gotta work out before that person's your husband. You still gotta work some issues out before she's your wife. Don't think that he's just giving it to you and that's it. There's nowhere in the Bible that it was just given and that's it. That's not how God works. Because if God just gives us things so easy, we don't know the value of it. Even the things that we work hard for, sometimes we don't know the value of it and we mishandle it. And it ends up being squandered away. So how much more a relationship? Please, people of God, use your sense. You still need to apply standards. You still need to be someone who stands their ground and says, this is the way we're going. If we're not going this way, which should be a godly way, if you can't respect me, if you can't treat me the way God wants you to treat me, then I can't be with you. It still needs to be that. So that was on my chest to say to you guys today. Definitely let me know what you think about it. I thought that was so important for you guys to know, because if you don't know this, that means there's like a big lie. There's a big deception, and it's gonna wreak havoc on a marriage. So thank you. Have a good night. I'm gonna go to bed. Or good morning. Bye-bye.